marching area immediately, so we need all the competitors for the first event. Please should now be at the marching area ready for the first event. So, ladies and gentlemen, athletes and coaches, welcome to this second session of the Swim England Hertfordshire County Championships. And whether you're here at Westminster Lodge or joining us via the live stream, thank you very much for supporting our swimmers throughout the year. Before we start the session, will you please put your hands together and give a big thank you to our technical and non-technical officials, along with the entire volunteer event team who have given up their time to ensure that this session can take place. Without their hard work and dedication, these championships would not be able to take place. So can you please put your hands together for our technical team and our officials. And can I say on behalf of all the swimmers, thank you very, very much to all those people who have put this together today.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be on standing for the national anthem?
So we're ready to get underway with this second session, and we're going to start that with event 201, which is the open male 10 to 14 years 400 metre freestyle, which is going to be swum in 5 heats. So while we're just making sure all the technical equipment works for those people on the live stream, we're just making some adjustments to the starting equipment to make sure it's all functioning before we get underway today. Louise is over there doing a great job. The programme for today's session is we're going to start with the 400 metres freestyle for the male and open category, and then we've got event 202, which is male and open 15 years and over 400 free, and then event 203 is the 14-15 years female 400 free, and then the over 15 400 free for the females. Then we go on to event 205, the male open 10 to 14 years 100 metres backstroke, and there are 9 heats of that. And then event 206, the male open 15 over 100 metres backstroke, there's 5 heats of that. Event 207 is the female 10 to 14 years 100 metres butterfly, and there are 6 heats of that. And then the 15 years and over female butterfly, and there are 4 heats of that to finish the session. Thank you to Louise. I think and Graham, I think between them they've managed to sort out the problem. The board seems to be running. So we start this session today with event 201 man open, 10 to 14 years, 400 metre freestyle. And this is heat 1 with swimmers in lanes 3, 4 and 5. So line up in this heat in lane 3, we've got Jack Donald from Watford. Lane 4 is Oscar Witt from Hertfordshire, and lane 5 is Tate Bailey from Hatfield. Entry times range from just under 6 minutes to just over 6 minutes, so we'll keep an eye on that. Remember, there's 16 lengths of the ball. So you can see the splits on the board. We at 50 metres, they're now coming into the turn. Nothing to choose between any at the moment, it's very close. This is going to coming up to the quarter distance, 100 metres. And we'll look at the split times 100 metres with Oscar just fractionally ahead of Jack and Tate, but they're all going to turn pretty much together. And they do 122, 123 at 100 metres. And now as they came off the wall there, Oscar in the centre here in lane 4 is starting to push on in this second 100. And it's Tate who's trying to go with him in lane 5, Hatfield swimmer in the pink hat. And Jack's still not far behind. Coming up to 150. And they're now spreading themselves out a little bit. So Oscar first to turn at 150, 205. Tate at 208 and Jack at 211. Oscar is still stretching his lead a little bit here. He's gradually easing away from them, and when he gets down to the start end, he'll be at halfway. Just had a quick look up at the board, and coming up to the 200 metre split. Oscar splits 248. Tate at 254, and Jack at 259. So Jack's swimming pretty much, if he keeps up on this pace, pretty much bang on his entry time. Oscar's considerably inside the splits he needs to make his entry to the qualification time. So 250. Oscar Witt splits at 331. Tate at 339. And Jack at 346. You can see on the board there, 6 to go for Oscar, and 6 to go for both of the others now. Again, he had a quick look up at the board. So this will be 300 metre split when they get to the start end. 4 lengths to go. Oscar's now 4:14. Tate at 4:22. And Jack at the turn. 4:35 with just 100 metres to go. So Oscar's got his head down, he knows he's got 2 lengths to go when he gets to the turn. His entry time of 5:57 and he splits at 4:56, so he's going to be way inside that if he can keep this up. Tate ended at 6:06 and similarly at 5:03 should get well inside his entry time too. Jack's swimming pretty much on his entry time, I think. Going to be close. Final turn for our leader. So Jack with just 50 metres to go, 5:23. Entered at 6:09, so he's going to be close to that. Oscar entered at 5:57.02, comes up to touch first. He's going to take this heat at a time of 5:38.20. Tate Bailey entered at 6:06, goes 5:45, a good 20-second PB. Excellent swim by Tate. And Jack, he's going to be very, very close to his entry time. Coming in now in the last few strokes into the last 5 metres, going to be just fractionally outside his entry time, and he touches, finished that at 6:09.99. Pretty much bang on his entry time. This is heat 2 of the Mount Open, 10 to 14 years, 400 metres freestyle. So underway in the second heat, the lineup here is Nathaniel Morgans in lane 0 is 12 from Hartford, lane 2 is Theo Rawlinson, who's 11 from Harpenden, lane 1. Lane 2 is Albert Saunders, who's 12 from Verulam, lane 3 is Dima Zabezitsky, who's 11 from City of St Albans, lane 4, Stefan Sorginelli, who's 11 from Costa, lane 5 is Zach Bramley, who's 12 from Hoddesdon, lane 6 Jonas Chorhang Ching, who's 11 from Verulam. Lane 7, George Gosling, who's 12 from Berkhamsted. Lane 8 is Jack Patterson, who's 12 from Stevenage. And lane 9, Edward Roberts, who is 12 from Hemel Hempstead. Entry times range from 5:37 out to 5:56, so they're all pretty close still on these ones. Leading the way at the moment, over in lane 8 is Jack and then Edward. We'll see their 100-metre splits come up on the board. We go 1:17. Edwards didn't come up there. It was about 1:18 something. Got a lot that haven't come up on that one. And there we are, they're all on the board there. So still just slightly in the lead here. Jack Padson in lane 8 from Stefan in lane 4. And also now picking up well is Albert in 2 and Nathaniel in lane 0. These three are going to be just ahead of Edward in lane 9. You can see the splits there, all very close, 201, 202 at 150. But now just coming up very well also now, Edward in lane 9. He's picked up off the wall there at the 150 turn. So still the two swimmers in 8 and 9, Jack in 8 and Edward in 9. Very close together, but now also still in lane 4 we've got Stefan, in lane 2 Albert, and in lane 0 Nathaniel there as well. But now first to turn is in lane 4 Stefan. Hopefully all the times will appear on there, about 2:46 I think, 2:44 rather, we'll pick it up on the back up so as they come up on the board after they've all turned. But he is now just easing away slightly. Stefan, Costa swimmer in lane 4, turns first, but now close in who's behind him in second place. Albert in lane 2, and now Edward is accelerating again in lane 9, looking pretty good. He's moving up. And still going well, Nathaniel Morgan's in lane 2, but turning now, 200 there, 329. 250. Now we have the leaders turning there, 328. 329 for your Roberts. With 6 laps to go after that turn. So they're coming down now to the 300-metre split, and big sprint coming in here, pushing hard from Edward Roberts in lane 9, trying to get into the lead, and I think he may be right up there now. And as they turn, there's nothing between Stefan in 4 and Edward out in lane 9, both turning at 4:12. Going to be between these two at the moment. There's a big sprint coming in now. We've got 100 to go. And it is between these two. They've eased ahead of Albert in lane 2. It's in 3rd at the moment. And it is a big tussle between lanes 4 and 9. But now going to the front, it's Edward Roberts from Hemel Hempstead, entered at 5:56. He's got 50 metres to go. Had a great length there. He's got 2 lengths to go. He's miscounted, but he can keep going because it's on freestyle, and he's going to have to sprint those last 2 lengths. And he's already up and overtaken Stefan in lane 4. So it is Edward Roberts still in the lead, swimming 2 more lengths than he thought he had to. Coming into the last 7 metres, Stefan sprinting really hard, as is Albert in lane 2, may get second, but it's Edward Roberts takes it, touching first, really, really close. We'll have to see what the board says for second and third between Albert in 2 and Stefan in 4. And it's Stefan, I said, look at that dead heat for second place there between Albert and Stefan, 5:37.85. Winning time there though, 5:35.69 for Ewan Roberts, including the stop. See the results on the board there. 4th place was Zach Bramley. And 5th was Jonas. This is heat 3 of the 400 metres freestyle. Line-up heat 3 is Oliver Burrows in lane 0, who's 12 from Hatfield. Lane 2, Maxwell Carter, 13 from Watford. Lane 1. Lane 2 is Max Hart, 13 from Verulam. Lane 3, Jeremy Cox, who is 12 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 4, Todd Long, who's 14 from Hatfield. Lane 5, Isaac Wilshire, who's 13 from Hertford. Lane 6, Cody Bridgen, who's 13 from Watford. Lane 7, Atticus Waterscow, who's 13 from Costa. Lane 8 is Camilotti Titon, who's 12 from Hatfield. And lane 9 is Sebastian Rama, who is 12 from Costa. Fastest entrant here at 5:10 is Todd in lane 4. Leading the way at the moment, it's lane 3, Jeremy, who's just slightly ahead, I think, of Isaac. We'll see on the turn as they come up. They turn pretty much together at 1:12, and then 1:13 for Todd, 1:13 also for Cody, 1:14 for Atticus, and 1:14 also for Max Hart. Jeremy's still just holding his lead. Pretty close alongside him, you've got Isaac in 5, but Todd between them in lane 4 is also there. And just behind those, we've got Cody in lane 6. Leading 3 in a bit of a line at the moment. Gone through 150. Still in a bit of a line, they could go anywhere. They're coming down to the 200-metre mark, and it's Cody's now coming up alongside them towards the leading 3 now, and it's Cody who is swimming the fastest as he's catching up along there. Halfway there, leading then, that is Isaac at 2:31. 2:31 also for Jeremy and also for Cody, and then 2:32 for Todd at the halfway point. 2:34 for Atticus. And then 2:37 for Max, and 2:39 lane 8. It's all just gone off the board in front of me. So they're through halfway, and now trying to make a push in the start of the second half. Fastest entrant in this heat, Todd in lane 4. He's now very slightly ahead of Isaac. But he had a good push off the wall there, and he is now pushing on very hard through 250. And it is Todd who's now trying to make the break. Isaac going with him. But they've broken away from the others, with now Cody in 3rd place now, and pulling away from Jeremy in lane 3, the early leader. But 4 and 5 are going to turn very closely together. 48, 348, 349, 350 for Cody Bridgen, 353 for Jeremy. This is all at 300 metres. 355 for Atticus, and then 358 for Max. 401, lane 8, and then 407 for Sebastian. 410 for Maxwell in lane 1. And 4:15 at 300 metres for Oliver in lane 0. So they've got 50 metres to go, coming up to this last pair of lengths. Now in the lead again, it's Todd Long from Hatfield, turns at 4:28. He's a second clear of Isaac in lane 5. And Cody also going well. Cody going after this too in lane 6. Cody Bridgen is sprinting the fastest of these at the moment. Cody's the fastest finisher, but in the lead still with 1 length to go. We've got Todd in lane 4, and he had a great turn there. Lots of power coming off the wall. Todd's pulling himself away now. Entered at 5:10, he's going to take this heat. As he touches there, about 5:04, I would think. We'll wait to see the ball times come up there. And we've got Isaac and Cody. We'll pick up all the times off the board as they touch. So there we go. Winning time, 5:04.23 for Todd. Second to touch there, 5:05.4 for Cody Bridgen. Third there, 5:05 for Isaac Wilshire. Last few strokes coming in lane 9. 5:27 for Sebastian. And lanes 0 and 1. There'll be 1 coming in next. Is 5:35. And then 5:38 for Oliver Burrows completes that heat. This is heat 4 of the 400 metres freestyle. So the lineup for Heat 4 is Hugo Riddell in lane 0, who's 13th of Ireland. Lane 1, James Nelson, who is 12 from Costa. Lane 2 is Max Perry, who is 14 from Watford. Lane 3, Charles Hallam, who is 13 from Harpenden. Lane 4, Samuel Charles, who's 13 from Berkhamsted. Lane 5, Harrison Dodwell, who is 13 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 6, Dewey Fordyce, who is 13 from Berkhamsted. Lane 7, George Sims, 13 from Hatfield. Lane 8, Milo Malloy, who's 14 from Costa. And lane 9 is Julien Vanier, who's 12 from Hatfield. Again, the fastest entrant here in lane 4, Samuel Charles from Berkhamsted, entered at 5 minutes. Got a lot that just over that. The slowest entrant in this heat is 5:09. So let's see how many of them can go under 5 minutes. Coming up to the first checkpoint at 100 metres. In the lead at the moment is Samuel Charles. It's not actually, it's George Sim and Samuel turning pretty much identical times at about 107.8. Third turn there was Dewey Fordyce in that early bit there, and then Charles Hallam. And then Harrison Dodwell. Again, those leading two, pretty much the same together, but now trying to push on hard in lane 7 is George Sims. George is now making a break a little bit now, up to 150, 143, and then 144 for Samuel Charles, 146 there, Dewey Fordyce in third place at the moment, and then we've got Charles Hallam, but still leading the way, coming down towards the halfway turn. George Sims entered at 5:03, but he's really not managed to break away from Samuel Charles. It's only got a metre or so from him at the moment, but let's look at the halfway splits. About 2:19, George Sims, and then Samuel's one will come up shortly, I'm sure, at 2:20. 2:20 for Samuel, then 2:25, third place on halfway, Dewey Fordyce. And then 2:25 also Charles Hallam. 2:27 for Milo Malloy halfway. George Sims trying now to extend his lead, and he has now pulled out around about a metre or so from Samuel in that 50 metres. There's now a second and a half between them, so he is just stretching out his lead a little bit. Very close for third, fourth and fifth though. Third place at the moment is still Dewey, but now going well over in lane 3, Charles, and then Max in lane 2. So coming down to the 300 metre split. George Sims looking for 5:03 as an entry time. He splits at 3:33. 3:35 for Samuel Charles. Now in third place there, it's Charles at 3:43. He's got ahead of Dewey, is also at 3:43, but Charles just edging ahead a little bit there. Still pretty close between those two, but look at this big sprint coming in lane 4 from Samuel Childs. He's pushing very, very hard on this final length. It's going to be close. Samuel in 4, George in 7, going to be close as they come through, but it is George who hangs on to it and touches first in a time of 4:10.19. Samuel, good final length, but it ends at 4:11.45. Touching there. Sorry, we've got 2 lengths to go. It's going to be close as they come in. Final turn, back into the lead. Samuel Charles from Berkhamsted. Samuel having a great final 100. Keep an eye on his time. So entry time, Samuel was 5 minutes. Massive PB there, 4:45.46. Long-time leader George Sims touches second, 4:48.02. Third to touch, 4:57 is Charles Hallam. And then 5 minutes for Dewey Fordyce, 5 minutes, 0.88 for Milo Malloy. Last few strokes over in lane 9. Julian touching in 5:11. And this is the final heat, heat 5 of the 400 metres freestyle. Line up for the final heat is Charles Pritchard in lane 0. He's 12 from Stevenage. Lane 1 is Taras Waiko, who's 13 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 2 is Montgomery Brewster, who's 14 from Watford. Lane 3, Rafe Lawson, who is 14 from Berkhamsted. 4, Aaron Rawlinson, who's 14 from Harpenden. 5, Hugo Harley, who's 14 from Watford. Lane 6, Guy Spearman Baines, who's 14 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 7, Noah Conroy, who is 14 from Bishop Stortford. And then another 13-year-old, Leo Sims, in lane 8 is from Hatfield. In lane 9 is Kapka Brilski, who is 14 from Potters Bar. At 100 metres, in the lead, lane 3 is Rafe Lawson, ends at 4:40. He's an early leader split, 1:04. 1:04 also for Hugo Hardy, and also 1:05 there for Aaron Rawlinson, third at the first checkpoint. These three just pulled themselves clear of the rest of the pack. It's Montgomery Brewster, who's in fourth place at the moment. He's the fastest of the chasers, but 150, they're all turning at about 1:39. Montgomery at 1:42. So as they come through to the turn, still really nothing to choose between them. 2:14 for Rafe, 2:15s for Aaron and Hugo, and then 2:17 for Montgomery, 2:18 for Noah, 2:20 for Taras, and then Leo 2:20 as well. That's a halfway, and now trying to push on hard now. We've got Summers in lanes 3 and 4, moving away a little bit. We've got Rafe in 3, Aaron in 4, Hugo in 5, only just behind them, but he's struggling to keep up with them at the moment. Through 2:50. And there's now a second between them. Battle behind them, looking good. Now coming through in lane 7 is Noah Conroy. Easing his way up. It's coming down to the 300-metre split. Great race this now. Got Rafe in lane 3 and Aaron in lane 4. As they go through the split at 3:24, pretty much together. Hugo there, 3:27. He's just being tailed off a little bit. He's in 3rd place comfortably at the moment, but now coming up, chasing him in lane 7. Noah Conroy split there at 3:31, and also in lane 2, Montgomery Brewster at 3:31. So coming down towards the final turn. What a race we've got on in the lead here. Rafe in 3, Aaron in 4. Both turning at 3:58, but a good turn off the wall there by Rafe. Pushed hard, but it's Aaron who is sprinting hard. Now back on his shoulder as they come through to the final turn. Absolutely together. And they turn at 4:15, and it's a drag race through the last 15 metres. Who's going to get this? It's Rafe in lane 3, entered at 4:40. Aaron in lane 4, entered at 4:37. And as they touch, oh, look at that. 4:30.5, 4:30.51, 100th between them. Rafe Lawson gets the touch ahead of Aaron Lawson. What a race. 100th of a second, splitting them after 400 metres. Third to touch there, 4:39 was Noah Conroy. 4:39.81, half a second behind was Hugo. And then 4:41 for Montgomery Brewster. 4:46 in lane 6 for Guy. 4:47 for Taras. 4:48 for Leo. 5 minutes for Charles, and 5:05 for Kuiper finishing that heat. So that completes the first event of this session, 201. We move on to event 202, the Man Open 15 years and over, 400-metre freestyle, going to be swum in 3 heats. And this is heat 1. So for those of you who are on the live stream, we're just dealing with an issue with a pad at the turn end of the pool. Take a minute or two just to sort that out, and then we should be underway with the Man Open 15 years and over 400 metres freestyle event. So event 202, line up in this first heat is Sam Fari in lane 3, he's 15 from Hertford, but they're all 15. Lane 4, Rocco Puglisi, who's from Potters Bar. Lane 5, Edward Beard, who is from Verulam. And lane 6, Noah Vasani, who is from Potters Bar. Entry times in this range are from 4:48 up to 5 minutes, 01. Coming down now towards the 100-metre split, and we've got Rocco in 4 and Edward in 5. These two a little bit clear of the others, both turning at 66, 68 for Sam, and then 69 for Noah at 100 metres. Rocco now trying to just ease ahead of Edward, and he's managed to pull out about half a metre on that length. Bring up to 150, and he's pushing on very hard. Turns first 142, Edward 143, so now a second and a bit between them. 146 for Sam, 146 also for Noah, so those two pretty much together in third and fourth place. But there's no doubt that Rocco is now easing away a little bit. He's now got a full body length clear of Edward, coming down towards the halfway checkpoint. And at halfway, Rocco splits 219.1, 220.9 for Edward. The other two, again, still locked together, both on 225s for Sam and Noah. Rocco continuing to just ease out, going just that little bit faster, and 250, 254, and then Edward at 258 at 250. Noah now just a little, let's see where he is at this checkpoint. For the final, with 50 to go, he splits at 407.1. Edward enters at 453. He splits at 413.3. Next will be Noah, but only just Noah at third. Going to be really close, but getting there first is Sam in that good final 50, 458. This is the 400 metres freestyle. Heat number. So second of 3, who is 17 from Potter's Bar in lane 7. Zachary 3, who is 17 from Potter's Bar in lane 7. Zachary Bale, who is Taggart in lane 3. We've got one missing off the board, but we'll pick up Oliver's time in lane 2, who's that at 207. And then 209 for Lau in lane 1 in touching second there, and then George Saunders 209. 209 also for Zach Bale in lane 8. So coming down to the halfway point. That's 242 for our leader. And then lane 1 is also 243. It's very close at the front, but still in the lead. Oliver Tom, Bishop Stortford, in 431. I'll see if I can manually read his time up as we go over, as he turns at 3:15. It was 3:15, I would think there. 3:16 for Chike Lau, and then 3:17 for Billy Sill now, up into third place out of George Saunders. So it is now Billy Sill in lane 5 is taking on in third place. George Saunders in lane 8 is in 4th place, but now 300 going into the lead. It is Chokin Lau in lane 1, goes into the lead, 349.6. I think it was 350 for Oliver Tom there. And then Billy Sill, 351, 354, 353 for George Saunders, 354, Joseph Suba. Big sprint finish coming in here now. Chokin Lau in the lead, entered at 4:33. He goes 4:22, 4:23 or thereabouts for Oliver Tom, touching in second. 4:24 for Billy Sill, touching in third. Sorry, 4:26 for George Saunders in third. 4:28 for Joseph Suba coming up there. And we'll pick up the backup time for Oliver, which we should appear on the board shortly. So Oliver just getting overtaken by Chokin Lau in lane 1 in the last 50 metres really. Tremendous last 100 metres, pulling back the 2 metre and a half lead. The technical team are just trying to sort out the pad. There we go. Oliver Tom's time, second place there, 4:23. There you can see the official result. Chokin Lau touching first there, 4:22.08. Oliver Tom second, 4:23.38. Third there, 4:24 was Billy Sill. 4:26, George Saunders. Then 4:28 in 5th place was Joseph. Zach Bale hitching in 4:28 in 6th. 7th was Ben Taggart at 4:31. Max Lesnar in lane 8, 4:35. Chokin Cheng in lane 9, 4:36 and 4:37. Finally for William in lane 0. This is the third and final heat of the 400 metres freestyle. In the final heat, the line-up is Thomas Fennick in lane 0, 15 from Hatfield. Lane 1 is Ryan Wimpney, 16 from Cheshunt. 2, Dylan Davenport, 17 from Bishop Stortford. 3 is Zach Fellows, who's 17 from Costa. Lane 4, Daniel Belsey, who is 18 from Hatfield. He's the fastest entrant in this at 4:01.96. See if we can go under 4. Then lane 5 is Ketz Yakai, who's 17 from Hatfield. Lane 6 is Oliver Fennick, who is 17 from Hatfield. Lane 7, Luke Martell, 20 from Watford. Lane 8 is Benjamin Palmer, 15 from Bishop Stortford. And lane 9 is Asher Davison, 18 from Potters Bar. First to turn, 59 seconds. Daniel has passed his entrant. And 59.01 Dylan Davenport, so pretty much identical at the 100 metres. A minute for Zach Fellows in third, and a minute also for Ketz Kai Cheng. So 150, still in the lead. Daniel Belsey. And he is now pulling away. Daniel Belsey in lane 4. Fastest entrant, let's see where he is at 200. 201.33 at 200. Second place there is 203 is Dylan Davenport, and then 204 for Zach Fellows. 204 also for Keds, and then 205 for Oliver. 206 Luke Martell. Approaching 250 for our leader. 232. 235 for Zach Fellows, and then 236 for Dylan Davenport in third. So I think we can see where the lead's going to stay here at the moment. It's lane 4, quite a long way clear now. Daniel Belsey in the lead. In second place, still Zach Fellows, being chased alongside him by Dylan Davenport in lane 2, and also going well in lane 5 is Keds, and it's 3:03 for Daniel with just 100 metres to go. Very close behind the 3:08s and 3:09s, but it's still in second place. At the moment, it's Zach Fellows. So Daniel coming down now to final turn. 50 metres to go. 3:34.77. Second place, 3:39 is Zach Fellows. Third place, 3:40.5, Dylan Davenport. 3:40.6 is Katz in lane 5. Into the last 15 metres. Daniel Belsey, he's got an entry time of 4:01. He's not going to get near that, but he's going to be good time though. 4:04.38. Great swim by Daniel Belsey. Going to be close behind him. Zach just hanging on to his second place, 4:09.35. 4:09.87. Fast finish there by Dylan. Couldn't quite catch him. 4:12. Fourth there for Ketz in lane 5, and then 4:15 for Ben Palmer and 4:18 for Luke Martell. So that completes the Mount Open 15 years in over 400 metres freestyle. Event 203 is the next event in the pool. And this is the female 10 to 14 years 400 metres freestyle. It's going to be swum in 5 heats. And this is heat 1. So the female swimmers in the pool, and the first of these events, the youngest section of the 400 metres. And in this first heat, we've got Tia Preston in lane 2. She's 11 from Tring. They're all 11. Polly Clavanger, who's in lane 3, is from Costa. Lane 4, Elizabeth Brentonall, who's from Verulam. Lane 5, Erin Smith, who is from Berkhamsted. And lane 6, Cora Summers, who is from Costa. Elizabeth and Erin in lanes 4 and 5 together as they make their way down towards the 100-metre split. It's going to be Erin who's going to turn first into 6:12, and at 100 metres she splits at 1:19, 1:20.2 for Erin, and then for Elizabeth. 126 Cora, and then 127 for Polly, and 129 for Thea at 100 metres. Erin coming up to 150. 202, so she's pulled out a second or two. 206 now for Elizabeth in second place. The other three are still pretty much in a row. Cora's going to turn next to 216, but also 216 for Polly and 217 for Tia. So they're all still in the line. So this is the 200-metre split for the leader coming up, and into 6:12, and she splits halfway at 2:46.16, so a long way inside the time she needs to make her entry time. 2:52 for Elizabeth. Again, she entered at 6:12, so that's looking good. Very close again, still behind. 3:04 for Cora, 3:05 Polly and Tia at 3:07. And again, they're all swimming inside the splits they need to make their entry time, so they're all going very well, but fastest at the moment still in the lead. Erin there, 3:29. Elizabeth comfortably in second place in this heat at 3:39. 10 seconds between first and second at the moment. Now there's a bit of a sprint going on here. And very close now between Polly now up into third place, 3:53, just fraction ahead of Cora, who's also on 53 at the turn. Very close between these two teammates, looking across at each other. 3:58 for Tia. So this will be the 300-metre split for the leader. She splits at 4:15.15. Erin. Elizabeth will be second to turn, but 300. And Elizabeth splits at 4:26 with 4 laps to go. Next to turn will be Polly. Only just though, Polly 4:41, 4:42 for Cora. These two really close together. 100 metres to go. And Tia turns at 4:51 with just 100 to go. They're in there 4:59. Just the final 2 lengths. Elizabeth with 50 to go at 5:13. Great battle for third and fourth though. Look how close this is. Polly in 3, Cora in 6. They're going to be fighting it out with the final sprint over the final 50, both turning at 5:29. But our leader coming in now, entered at 6:12. And touches at 5:41, massive PB, great swim by Erin, excellent time. Elizabeth will be next to touch, in the end 6:12, and she's going to be pretty close to getting under 6 minutes if she can just push on that last couple of strokes. 5:58.65, under 6 minutes, good swim by Elizabeth, very well done. Big sprint finish coming in by Polly, who's pulled herself ahead of Cora in this last 50, and Polly touches next at 6:13, 6:14 for Cora. Polly entered 6:18 and Cora 6:28, so two very big PBs there. And Tia's going to be only just outside her entry time at 6:29 and comes through and touches there just fractionally outside of 6:32. Well done, all of those swimmers. This is heat 2 of the 400 metres freestyle. And in heat 2, we have in lane 0, Annabella Carey, who is 12 from Stevenage, all 12 apart from 1. Lane 1 is Annabelle Wetton, who is 12 from Harpenden. Lane 2 is Emma Romagny, who's 12 from Verulam. Lane 3 is Sky Randall, who's 12 from Watford. Lane 4, Aurelia Court, who's 12 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 5, Selena Maria Spire, who's 12 from Hatfield. Lane 6 is Kira Norman, who is 12 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 7, Scarlett Yee, who is 12 from Costa. Lane 8, Lisa Zabitskaya, who's 11. She's the 11-year-old from Costa. And then Charlotte Rich is 12 in lane 9 from Stevenage. Charlotte, one of the swimmers up in this leading pack of 3, turning at 100 metres. Charlotte turns first, 1:14.7, ahead of Aurelia at 1:14.9, and then Selena turning in third. Still close at the moment. Charlotte Rich is going to still be in the lead as they turn going into the last part of the first half of the race. It's at 1:56, 1:57 for Aurelia, and then Selena at 1:59. 2:01, Kira Norman, Scarlett 2:03. So Charlotte Rich still in the first place there, Aurelia in second, 2:41, 2:43 for Selena, and then Kira 2:45, 2:46 for Scarlett. At 200 metres. So easing away a little bit now in the lead, Charlotte Rich in lane 9. From Aurelia in lane 4, who's now comfortably in second. So Charlotte turning at 2:50 at 3:21. Aurelia at 3:24 in second. And then Selena 3:27 in third. Kira Norman and Scarlett and Emma all very close at 3:31, 3:32. 3:32 also for Sky Randall and Lisa at 3:33. Annabelle 3:34, 3:34 for Annabelle Carey as well. Annabella Carey. So as we come up to the final checkpoint here, main checkpoint, it's Charlotte Rich. The 300 metres turning at 4:04.3.4. 4:08.1 for Aurelia, turning in second at 300 metres. Then 4:13 for Selena. Then Kira and Emma and Scarlett and Sky all pretty much together, 4:14 through to 4:17. It's 50 metres to go when they get to the turn. Charlotte Rich entered at 5:53. She's got 50 metres to go. She's at 4:46. Aurelia entered at 5:36. And she's 5:52 with 50 to go. The third place is Scarlett, 5:58, but right behind her, Selena also at 5:58.9. Kira Norma at 4:58 as well. So they're all very, very close together. So Charlotte Ridge comes in and touches first. Winning time, 5:27.82. Aurelia touching in second at 5:34. A third to touch there was Scarlett at 5:38. And then fourth, Emma coming through there, take fourth at 5:40. And then Kira Norman, 5:40.55, touching in fifth. This is heat 3 of the female 10 to 14 years, 400 metres freestyle. In lane 0, we've got Tumaris Ralpova, who's 13th from Rickmansworth. Lane 1 is Scarlett Ormond, who's 13th from Cheshunt. Lane 2, Sophie Garland, who's 13th from Harpenden. Lane 3, Lily Kitchener, who's 13th from Watford. Lane 4, Sakura Yamadara, who's 13th from St Albans. Lane 5, Freya Keeling, who is 13th from Oddiston. Lane 6, Hayley Frew Costa, who's 13th from Potters Bar. Then we've got a 12-year-old, Layla Harley, in lane 7, who is from Watford. Lane 8 is Mariella Thorne, who is 13 from Ware, and another 12-year-old, Emma Todd, in lane 9, is from Potters Bar. Freya Keeling it is, leading the way in lane 5, coming up to the first 100-metre checkpoint, 69.82. Second there is Sophie Garland, 113, 113 also for Hayley and Scarlett. And then a few on 114. You can see how close this is at the moment across the pool. Just Freya who's pulling a little bit clear at the front. So at 150, Freya's time of 1:49 in the lead. 154s behind her for Hayley and Sophie, and Sakura and Tamaris and Scarlett and Lily all on 155. Freya Keeling entered at 5:21. Let's see where she is at halfway. And a 200 metre split is 2:27.8, so that looks good. Look how close it is behind her though. And as they turn here, 2:35s together, Hayley and Sophie absolutely together, 2:36s together, Sakura and Scarlett. Really close. 2:30. But Freya dominating this from the front. Coming up to 250. .306. She's got a quite quite commanding lead here at the moment. Next to turn is Hayley for Acosta and then Sakura and Sophie. Hayley on 3:16.09, 3:16.65 for Sakura. Sophie half a second behind that. And let's see the final main split here. Freya coming in. And at 300 metres, she's at 3:46. Entered at 5:21. Hayley still in second, and Sakura really close together, both 3:57, 3:58 for Scarlett. Then it drops to 4 minutes for Tamaris, and then Lily 4:01, 4:02 for Layla, Emma Todd 4:03, Mariella Thorne 4:03 at 300 metres. I'm going to have 50 metres to go when Freya gets to this turn. Just 2 lengths left. Final 2 lengths at 4:27. Again, she entered 5:21, but look how close this is now for second place. 3 swimmers turning together. Sakura in lane 2, lane 3, lane 4, lane 1 is Scarlett, lane 6 is Hayley. All on 4:37, 4:39 for Sophie in lane 2. It's really close. Going to be a great sprint to the end. But leading that sprint at the moment, it is in lane 1. Scarlett, but coming through to touch first, a time of 5:04 is Freya Keeling, who takes that. Scarlett's going to get second here. We'll see her time. Great last 50 there. 5:14. Third there, 5:14 was Hayley Costa. And then 5:15 is Sakura Yamada-all. Sophie Garland, 5:17, came in 5th place. 6th place, Layla Harley in 5:22. Heat 4 of the 400 metres freestyle. In Heat 4 we have Chloe Barber in lane 0, who's 14, from Stevenage. Lane 1 is Amy Roberts, who's 14 from Hemel. Lane 2 is Emma Storrow, who's 14 from Watford. Lane 3, Aoife Blessing, who is 13 from Hatfield. Lane 4 is Lily Chappell, who's 14 from Royston. Lane 5, Esme Hui, who's 14 from Watford. Lane 6, Emma Soforonov, who's 14 from Hadfield. Lane 7, Amelie Desimul, who's 13 from Verulam. And lane 8 is Tilly Howes, who's 13 from Verulam. Lane 9, Catherine Atherley, who is 12 from Hadfield. Only one under 5:10 entry time, which is Lily in lane 4. Leading the way coming up to the end of the first 100 is Esme Hui in lane 5. From Watford, entered at 5:11. Her first split at 100 is 68.9. 71 for Emily Roberts. 72 for Emma Storrow, and then 72 also for Emma Soforonov. Coming down towards 150. It's still Esme who's in the lead. Close behind her at the moment. Good swims going through Amy Roberts in lane 1. And also Lily Chappell in lane 2. So approaching the halfway point, still in the lead, as we heard from Watford. Lily Chappell from Royston tracking her at the moment, only one body length back. And Esme, the halfway, turns at 2:27. Lily at 2:29. Then behind them together, 2 4:31s for both Amy and Emma. And then 2:32 for Tilly. At halfway, 2:33, Emma Stormanov, who's in lane 6. But now, Lily Chappell has overtaken Esme Hui. It's Lily Chappell now in the lead from Esme. That's a good 50 metres there. Started the second half. And 2:50 Lily's time, 3:06, 3:08 for Esme, and Emma 3:11 with Amy at 3:11 as well. 3:13s for Emma Sporov. But pushing on very hard now, Royston's Lily Chappell. She's the fastest entrant in this heat. 4:43 at 300 metres, just under 4:44. And she's pulled out a few seconds there. 4:48 now for Esme. Emma Storrow, 3:50. 3:52 for Amy Roberts. 3:53 for Tilly Howes. 3:53 also for Emma Sofonov. And now we're seeing Lily pushing on very hard. Entered at 5:09. So final turn for Lily Chappell. Esme it is in second place still, but being run down by Emma Storrow, who's getting very close to her in lane 2. But our leader comes through and touches to take that. Lily Chappell's winning time, 4:58.28. Going to be very close for second. I think Esme may just hang on to it. She does it 5:07, 5:08 for Emma Storrow in third, 5:10 Tilly Howes in fourth. Fifth place there, 5:11 was Amy Roberts. 6:5:12 Eva Blessing, and then 5:12 also for Emma Sofonov. Let's confirm result that his time of winning time 4:58. This is the final heat, heat 5 of the 400 metres freestyle. Line up in this final heat is lane 0, Georgie Barsby is in lane 0 and she's 13 from Hatfield. Lane 1, Amelia Bale, 14 from Hitchin. Lane 2, Neve Ives, who's 14 from Hatfield. Lane 3 is Addison Summers, 14 from City of St Albans. Lane 4, Olivia Daniels, 13 from Verulam. Lane 5 is Summer Miller, who's 14 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 6, Isla Cayley, who's 14 from Watford. Lane 7, Charlotte Stewart, 14 from Costa. Lane 8, Ashley Worth, who's 12 from Cheshunt. Lane 9, Charlotte Dixon, who is 13 from Hitchin. 4:48 is the fastest entry time for anyone in this particular event. That's Addison Summers, and that's Olivia Daniel in lane 4, who is going to turn joint first. They're both turning at about 66, a few hundreds between them. Some are fractionally ahead of Olivia. Then Addison Summers turning in third at 67. And then 68 for Amelia Bale at 100 metres. .150, 142 for Olivia Daniels, just in the lead for Summer Miller. There's only 0.3 between them. Addison Summers in third, 143, 145 for Neve Ives, and Amelia Bale 146, 147 for Georgie, 147 for Charlotte Stewart as well. Really close, these three swimmers together. Coming up to 250, could go anywhere here. .219 for Olivia, still in the lead, but .219 also for Summer, and .220, less than a second back, is Addison Summers, less than half a second back. But now pushing towards the front, coming up to the 300-metre turn. It's Summer Miller from Bishop Stortford, and at 4:48, trying to make a split here. And it is Summer turning first at 2:55, 2:56, nearly half, three-quarters of a second behind Olivia Daniel. Addison Summers, 2:56.4. Neve Ives, 3:02 at 300. Georgia Basavi, 3:04, 3:05 for Charlotte Stewart. Amelia Bale, 3:05, 3:07. Ashley Worth, Charlotte Dixon, 3:08, and Isla Cayley, 3:10 at 300 metres. But a good push on here in this last 100. In lane 5, it's Summer Miller from Bishop Stortford, entered at 4:48, got 50 to go. 3:32, three-quarters of a second behind her. Addison Summers in lane 3. Olivia just now tailing off behind them slightly, but holding on to this lead. In lane 5, Summer Miller. But so close now as they turn. They're pretty nearly together. Summer in lane 5, Addison in lane 3. It's going to be very, very close coming into the last 5 metres. Who's going to get the touch? As they touch, they turn there. It's got 50 metres to go, 4:08. Both of them, nothing to choose between them, but a better push off the wall there for Summer Miller in lane 5. And Summers now started to accelerate away. Turns into the final length. In lane 5, Summer Miller still under pressure. This is going to be very, very close as they come through to touch. And it's a dead heat for first place, 4:43.92 between Addison Summers and Summer Miller. How about that after 400 metres? A dead heat at 4:43.92. Third to touch there was Olivia Daniel, 4:50.74. Fourth was Neve Ives at 4:55. And fifth was Georgie, 4:59. Sixth, Charlotte Stewart, 5:01. Amelia Bell, 5:01 as well. That completes the 400 metres for 14-15 for the 10 to 14 year olds. The next event is the 15 and over 400 metres freestyle, which is going to be swum in 3 heats. And this is heat number 1. Alison Liu is in lane 3. She's 15 from Watford. Lane 4, Abigail John, 16 from Stevenage. Lane 5 is Tali Froome, who's 15 from Harpenden. Lane 6 is Isabella Smith, who is 15 from City of St Albans. So, 100 metres. Abigail John turning first at 69.16. 1:11 for Talia Froome. And also 1:11 for Alison and Isabella. Abigail John eased out about 2 body lengths, 2 complete lengths lead, coming up to 150. She's got about a 2.5 second lead over Tali and then Alison and Isabella. As we hit the halfway point, Abigail John, 2:26.34, Talia Froome at 2:29. In second place, in third place at halfway, 2:29.8 is Alison Liu, 2:30.65 is Isabella Smith. Abigail John still holding her lead. Doesn't seem to be pulling away anymore, but behind her we've got Alison in 3 and Tali in 5. 3:05 at 2:50. She's got about a 2.5 second lead over Tali and Alison. And then Isabella, 3:10 and 4th place at the moment. Coming up to 300 metres. Still in the lead, Abigail John from Stevenage. Tali Froome now just fractionally ahead of Alison Liu. Abigail turning at 300, 345. Tali 347.6, 348.2 for Alison, and then Isabella Smith at 351.5. And Abigail still holding on to her lead. Just 50 to go, but she is getting reeled in slowly now. And Abigail turns and she's got much smaller lead. 424.4, 426, pretty much together now for Alison and Tali, and they've taken over a second out of her on that previous 50. Abigail digging in hard. She's got 1 length to go. And she's responded very well. She's just eased out a bit more of a lead on that penultimate length. Very, very close behind her for second and third. It's going to be right down to the touch at the end. Abigail's going to take this one. Let's look at her winning time of 5:02.4. Very close for second place, with Tali Froome getting the touch of 5:04.79. A few hundredths ahead of Alison Liu at 5:04.91. And Isabella Smith completing that at 5:12.48. This is heat 2 of the 400 meters freestyle. So line up on this second heat. Bobby McDonald-Williams in lane 0, 17 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 1 is Lucy Alexander, who's 17 from Harpenden. Lane 2, Megan Randall, 15 from Royston. And lane 3 is Daisy Jubb, who's 16 from Costa. Lane 4, Camille Vanier, who's 19 from Hatfield. Lane 5, Cassandra Pereira, who's 16 from Watford. Lane 6, Amy Thompson, who's 16 from Hemel Hempstead. Lane 7, Amy Borum, who's 20 from Watford. Lane 8, Ava Taroni O'Hara, who is 17 from Potters Bar. And lane 9 is Lois Fields, who's 15 from Bishop Stortford. Couple here on 4:47 entry times and a 4:49 and then 53s, 56s. 100 metres, the leader, Camille Vanier, who's 1:07.02. Second at the 100 metre mark is Sandra Pereira, and then Lucy Alexander in third at the first 100. So Camille coming up to turn, 142, 150. Lucy Alexander still in second place ahead of Cassandra Pereira, Amy Thompson, Daisy Jubb, all within a second of each other. A couple of seconds back from the leader. Camille coming down to the 200 metre split. At halfway, Camille Vanier splits at 217.8. 5 of them all turn behind her there. Cassandra Pereira, 223, 223.1 for Daisy. Amy Thompson, 223.3. And then Lucy Alexander right up there as well. Camille got a very tidy lead though. 253.28. And now it's spreading out a little bit there. Second to turn there now. Cassandra Pereira, 2:59, Daisy Jubb. 3 minutes for Amy Thompson and Megan Randall, and 3:01 for Lucy Alexander. So there's still only a couple of seconds between that entire chasing pack. Camille coming down now to the final big checkpoint. And at 300 metres, Camille Vanier is at 3:28. And you've still got 3 swimmers in a row turning behind her. Cassandra Pereira, 3:36. Daisy Jubb, 3:36. Amy Thompson, 3:37. Megan Randall, 3:38. 3:40 for Lucy Alexander at 300. Amy Borum, 3:43, 3:46 for Lois Fields. Camille Vanier now, we're going to have 50 metres to go at this turn. Camille turning at 4:03. And now it's broken down further. We've got 2 swimmers chasing for the second spot here. Daisy Jubb just in second, 4:13.3, 4:13.4 for Cassandra Pereira. Amy Thompson, 4:14, 4:15. Megan Randall and Lucy Alexander, 4:19. Amy Borum, 4:22. Camille with just 10 metres to go. An entry time of 4:47 comes through and touches at 4:38.57. Great time for her. Going to be close behind her, but just going to get the touch there is Cassandra Pereira at 4:48.45. 4:48.83, Daisy Jubb touching in third. Amy Thompson, 4:50. 4:52 for Megan Randall. Lucy Alexander, 4:58. 4:59 for Amy Borum. And then 5:03s, 0.18 for Ava, and 5:03.69 for Lois. Thank you. This is the third and final heat of the 400 metres freestyle. So the final heat of this 400 metre series of events. Heat 3, in lane 0 we've got Olivia Croft, who's 15 from Cheshunt. Lane 1 is Jasmine Scott, who's 15 from St Albans. Lane 2, Heidi King, 15 from Hemel Hempstead. Lane 3, Alice 20 from Watford. Lane 4 is Eva Ives, who's 17 from Hatfield. Lane 5 is Valentina Tinirello, who's 16 from Potters Bar. 6, Sam Everson, who is 17 from Watford. Lane 7 is Esme Stringer, who's 18 from Bishop Stortford. 8 is Edie Foster, who is 15 from Bishop Stortford. And lane 9, Antonia Elias, who's 17 from Watford. At 100, first to turn, 63 seconds is Eva Ives. This is the 100 metre split, very close to the front. Eva Ives taking the turn first, 137.99, 138.32 for Alice Weston, and then Heidi King in third place at the turn. So it still arrives in the lead. 2:12, 2:13 for Alice, and then very close behind 2:14 Heidi King. 2:14 also Jasmine Scott, 2:14 also for Olivia Croft. 2:15 for Summer Everson. So very close in the chasing groups, but got this leading pair. Just about a body length ahead of the swimmers in lanes 0 to 2. So coming up to the split at 250. 2:47, Ever Alive's in the lead. Alice Weston 2:48 in second. Heidi King in third. Jasmine Scott in fourth. Olivia Croft then ahead of Summer Everson and Edie Foster. Coming down towards the 300-metre mark. It is Ever Ives going down to turn first. 3:22 at 300, 3:23.4. Second between first and second. Alice Weston in second. Olivia Croft in third. Heidi King, both at 3:25s, and also Jasmine Scott at 3:25 as well. Summer Everson 3:27. Amy Foster 3:29, and Valentino also at 3:29. So as they hit this final turn, Ever Ives at 3:57, 3:58. She's pulled out a fraction more between first and second. Third place at that turn is now 4 minutes. Olivia Croft ahead of Heidi King and Jasmine Scott, but very close. And this is getting closer still as they come into the last 10 metres. It's going to get very close indeed. We've got Alice in 3 and Ever in lane 4 as they come through the touch. It's really close. Ever hangs on to it, 4:31.87. 400s ahead of Alice, finishing really fast at 4:31.9. And third to touch there, Jasmine Scott, 4:33.83. Ahead of Olivia Croft, 4:35. Heidi King, 4:35.79. Ever Iverson at 4:39.31. And as we finishes that at 4:55. So if you could clear the pool, please, swimmers. If you can make your way out of the side of the pool, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, swimmers and coaches, please listen carefully as the following is an important safety announcement. Swimmers, you are reminded that the depth of the water at the start end is 2 metres, and the depth of the water at the turning end is 2 metres. The height of the starting blocks above the water at the start end is 700 millimetres. Only those swimmers who have reached the standard of the swimming competitive starting wall are permitted to start with a shallow racing dive from the starting blocks. Swimmers who have not reached the standard must start in the water. In the event of a false start, please continue with the shallow racing dive. Do not topple into the water head downwards, as this is dangerous. Please do not sit and pull yourself along the limb ropes throughout the dive when leaving the pool. Please exit to the side and do not climb out over the timing pads. If you are starting in the water, you must lower yourself over the side. Do not jump or dive. In the event that we need to evacuate the building, the sound you will hear will be an electronic siren, and red lights will flash around the building. In this case, please leave the building using the nearest, safest emergency exits, which will be kept clear at all times. In the event of an emergency, please follow the direction of the swim center staff. Swimmers and officials, you are reminded not to return to the changing rooms to collect your personal belongings. There should be no glass or hot drinks on poolside. In accordance with swimming and child safeguarding policies and procedures, any parents or parents who wish to take photographic or video images are requested to focus on their own child as much as reasonably possible to avoid including other children in the images, particularly if those images are being shared with family and friends on social media platforms. Everyone is reminded that the use of a mobile phone or taking photographic and video images is not permitted in the changing rooms. Should you have any concerns regarding photography or filming this event, please bring them to the attention of the promoter. Thank you for your attention.
So while we get our competitors behind the blocks, just a reminder we've got event 205 coming up, which is the 10-14 years 100 metre backstroke. Then we've got 206, which is the 15 and over 100 metre backstroke. First one's going to be 9 heats, second one is going to be 5 heats, and then we've got the female 10 to 14 years 100 metres butterfly, and then the 15 and over butterfly. And we've got 6 heats of the first and 4 heats of the second. And we start this part of the session with event 205, the open male, 10 to 14 years, 100 metres backstroke, which will be swum in 9 heats, and this is heat 1. So just the 3 swimmers going to the blocks in this heat. We've got Tate Bailey in lane 3 from Hatfield. Lane 4 is Adima Zapetetsky is from Costa, and then we've got Sebastian Turnouth in lane 5, who's from Verulam. They're all 11 years old. 4 lengths of the pool in a 100 metre backstroke event. In the middle here we've got Dima in the lead. Entered at 1:34.21. They're all similar times, entry times. Let's see the turn at halfway. Dima turns at 41.84, 43.46 for Sebastian, and then Tate at 43.64. And they're still in that order at the moment, but Sebastian and Tate very close together. And into the final length. In the middle of the 3 here, Dima. Dima Zapetsky is coming up to the last 5 metres. He's going to take this. It looks like Tate could be in second. Dima's entry time 1:34.2. Goes 1:27.89, 1:29.85 second for Tate, and 1:30.52 for Sebastian. Can you clear the pool to the side, please, swimmers? Can you make your way out of the pool, please? This is heat 2 of the 100 metres backstroke. And in heat 2, we've got lane 0 is Oscar Witt, who is 11 from Potters Bar. Lane 1 is Jupiter Jones Shoka, who is 11 from Stevenage. Lane 2, Ho Him Heng, who's 12 from Hatfield. Lane 3 is George Gosling, who's 12 from Berkhamsted. Lane 4, Benjamin Green, who's 11 from Bishop Stortford. 5 is Arthur Proctor, who is 11 from St Albans. Lane 6, James Tattersall, who's 11 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 7, Jack Donald, 11 from Watford, and another 11-year-old, Leonardus Laville, is in lane 8 from Hatfield. Leading coming up to the halfway turn is George. Gosling turns at 41.22, 42.02. Ben Green is second. Oscar Wood in third, 42.1, 42.75. James Tattersall in fourth at the halfway point. But you can see how close it is with the swimmers in lanes 4, 5 and 6 in a bit of a row, and also over in lane 0. But still turning first there. Leading the way in lane 3, it's George Gosling, entered at 131.56, being chased hard now by Ben Green alongside him. And also going very well in lane 0 is Oscar Witt, but coming into touch, it's a win for George Gosling, touching first at a time of 124.4. Second was Benjamin Green at 125.36, and third to touch Oscar Witt at 126.91. Can you clear the pool to the side, please, swimmers? Can you clear the pool to the side, please? Heat 3 of the 100 metres backstroke. Abraham Comray in lane 0 is 11 from Berkhamsted. Lane 1 is Dengis Razma, who's 11 from Hatfield. Lane 2, Lewis Herity is 12 from Stevenage. 3, Nathaniel Morgans, who's 12 from Hertford. Lane 4, Edward Roberts, who's 12 from Hemel Hempstead. Lane 5, Jack Dalton, 11 from Stevenage. Lane 6, William Howard, 12 from Tring. Lane 7, Samuel Roberts, 11 from Costa. Lane 8 is Jacob Thompson, 12 from Verulam. And lane 9 is Harley Langford, who is 12 from Potters Bar. First to turn is going to be Jack Dalton, I think, in lane 5, who's going to be close though. Jack turns at 40.41, Edward Roberts in second, and Jacob Thompson turning in third. Very close though between 4 and 5. We've got Edward in 4 and Jack Dalton in 5. They're going to turn absolutely together. At about 62, 63 seconds. Third place at the moment is Dengis over in lane 1, but it's going to be very close between these two. Into the last 5 metres. Edward in 4, Jack in 5. And Edward it is who takes it, 123.53, 123.72, Jack Dalton second. And third place coming through strongly in the last length there was Jacob Thompson in 124.27. Can you clear the pool, please? Can you make your way to the side of the pool, please, swimmers? Heat 4 of the 100 metres backstroke. In Heat 4, the lineup is lane 0, Oliver Burrows, who's 12 from Hatfield. Lane 1 is Theo Rauncey, who's 11 from Harpenden. 2, Albert Saunders, 12 from Verulam. 3 is Callum Lucas, who's 12 from Costa. Lane 4, Jeremy Cox, who's 12 from Bishop Stortford. And 5, Daniel Cara, who's also 12 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 6, Louis Crotty, who is 13 from Royston. Lane 7, Jonas Chor Hang Ching, who's 11 from Verulam. And then 2 12-year-olds. In 8 is Thomas Evans from Verulam, and lane 9 is Zach Bramley from Hoddesdon. Halfway, 37.38 for Daniel Carr in the lead. Albert Saunders 38.1 in second. Louis Crotty 38.42 in third. Callum Lucas is fourth. Jeremy Cox is in fifth, and Thomas Evans in sixth. But it is Daniel in the lead, coming down into this final length. It's Daniel Cara from Louis Crotty, and then a whole row of swimmers on the other side, with Jeremy Callum and Albert in a row. But coming into the last couple of strokes, touching first, Daniel Cara in a time of 1:17.77. Second was Louis Crotty in 1:18.65. And third, they're out of that very close chasing pack, Callum Lucas in 1:20.77. Can you clear the pool, please, to the side? Can you clear the pool, please, swimmers? Heat 5 of the 100 metres backstroke. Jack Patterson is in lane 0, who's 12 from Stevenage. Lane 1 is Luke Atsay, who's 13 from Bishop Stortford. 2, John Holman Daly, who's 12 from Costa. Lane 3 is Joshua Green, who's 13 from Stortford. Lane 4, Maxwell Carter, 13 from Watford. Lane 5, Joshua Beard, who's 13 from Verulam. Lane 6, Kampal Binning, who's 12 from Rickmansworth. Lane 7, Sebastian Rama, who's 12 from Costa. And 2 13-year-olds in 8, Hugo Riddle, who's from Verulam, and 9 is Aaron Lal, who's from Watford. Turning first at halfway, Luke Atsay, who's at 37.03 in lane 1. Second at the halfway turn, there's Kamal Binning, King Pal Binning, and it's in the middle of the pool, but it's going to be close as they turn. Very close now. 3 swimmers, all pretty much in a row. We've got in lane 1, Luke Atsay, and then we've got across the pool, coming through strongly in lane 6 is King Pal Binning. And finishing fast also in lane 2, but touching first in a time of 1:16.09 was Luke Atsay. Second to touch there, 1:17.74 is King Pal Binning, and then third to touch, 1:18.06 is Joshua Beard. Can you clear the pool, please? Can you make your way to the side of the pool, please, swimmers? Make your way out of the pool, please, swimmers. Heat number 6 of the 100 metres backstroke. In this one, we have in lane 0, Mark Mansagi, who's 13 from Watford. Lane 2, Max Hart, 13 from Borough. Lane 3, Christian Girotto, who's 13 from Costa. Lane 3, Lewis Hallam, 13 from Harpenden. 4, Danny Buller, who's 14 from Costa. Lane 5, Harrison Dodwell, who's 13 from Bishop Stortford. 6, Arthur Hundley, 13 from Costa. 7, Vinnie Koencher, who's 14 from Watford. Lane 8 is Charlie Hamilton, 14 from Pottersborough, and James Nelson is 12 from Costa in lane 9. First to turn, Lewis Hallam in 34.6, 35 and 36 for Danny and Harrison directly behind him. These three just edged clear in the spearhead, but turning already now at 53 seconds into the final length. In the lead, in lane 3, it's Lewis Hallam from Harpenden, entered at 1:19. Behind him is Danny Miller and then Harrison Dodwell. But let's see as he touches. 1:12.47, winning time for Lewis Hallam. He entered at 1:19, it's a fabulous swim by him. Second to touch was Danny Buller in 1:14.9, and third there Harrison Dodwell in 1:15.44. Can you please make your way out to the side of the pool, please, swimmers? If you can make your way out of the pool, please, swimmers. Heat 7 of the 100 metres backstroke. Leo Sims in lane 0 is 13 from Hatfield. Lane 1 is Stefan Sorcinelli, who's 11 from Costa. Lane 2 is Guy Spearman-Baines, who's 14 from Bishop Stortford. 3, Sam Anderson, 14 from Tring. Lane 4, 6, Milo Malloy is 14 from Costa. And a 12-year-old, Julian Vanier in lane 7 from Hatfield. Lane 8 is George Sims, who's 13 from Hatfield. And lane 9 is Lexis Maregia, who's 14 from Pottersborough. Noah Conroy turned first, 4:34.52 at halfway. Second to turn there was Samuel Childs, and then third at that halfway point was Guy in lane 2. But it is very close for the minor places. In the lead though, and would over a body length clear. It's Noah Conroy from Bishop Stortford, entered at 1:16.8 as he comes through to touch. Touching first at a time of 1:10.53. Second to touch 1:12.71 was Samuel Childs, and third 1:13.97 was Guy Spearman-Baines. Can you clear the pool to the side, please, swimmers? If you could make your way out of the side of the pool, please, swimmers. So there you see notes of disqualification in the previous heat. This is heat 8 of the 100 metres backstroke. Chewy Fordyce in lane 0 is 13 from Berkhamsted. Lane 2 is Charlie Robinson, who's also 13 from Tring. Lane 3, Toby Benson, 13 from Harpenden. Lane 3, Samuel Allcroft, who's 14 from Tring. Lane 4, Luca Capozzi is 13 from Elm Hempstead. Lane 5, Noah Carter, who's 14 from Watford. Lane 6 is Alex Cash, who's 14 from Watford. Lane 7, Cody Bridgen, who's 13 from Watford. Lane 8 is Jake Nell, 13 from Tring. And lane 9 is Charles Pritchard, who is 12 from Stevenage. Jake Nell is first to turn at 34.36 at halfway. Second to turn there was Toby Benson, and then third, Luca Capozzi. But you can see a row across the pool. There's about 4 swimmers in a row as they come through to the final turn. And this could go one of 4 or 5 ways. Turning at about 53 seconds. This is very close indeed, particularly between Luca in 4 and Noah in 5. Noah in 5 just edging ahead, but coming through strongly also lane 2 is Toby, but as they come through the touch, you can go one of a number of ways. 1:11.89 winning time for Noah, who touched first. Second to touch was Toby Benson in 1:12.7, and third, Jake Nell coming through there, 1:12.85 to touch in third place. Can you make your way to the side of the pool, please, swimmers? Can you make your way out of the pool, please? So we're just doing some checks before we go on to the next heat. And there is the official result, winning time of 1:11.89 to Noah Carter in the heat 8. This is heat 9, the final heat of the 100 metres backstroke. And in this final heat, we got Fox Foster in lane 0, 14 from Hatfield. Lane 1 is Aaron Rawnsey, who's 14 from Harpin. And lane 2, Hugo Harley, who is 14 from Watford. And 3 is Taras Berke, who's 13 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 4 is Rafe Lawson, 14 from Berkhamsted 5. Charles Hodgson, 14 from Costa. His teammate, Oscar Chow, in lane 6 is 14. Lane 7, Todd Leung, who's 14 from Hatfield. Lane 8 is Max Perry, 14 from Watford. Lane 9, Jensen Richards, who's 14 from Bishop Stortford. Rafe Lawson, 31.7, turned first, ahead of Charles Hodgson and Oscar Chow at halfway. Close for third, but the first two are a little bit clear, and they come up to turn. About half a second between them, at about 49 seconds on the turn. Just in the lead at the moment, it's Rafe Lawson in lane 4 from Charles Hodgson in lane 5. Close behind them, but it looks like it's being led by Aaron in lane 1. But as they come to touch, the winning time, or first to touch there, 105.65 for Rafe Lawson. Second to touch was Charles Hodgson in 106.99. And third was Aaron Braunsey in 108.14. Can you clear the pool to the side, please, Summers? Can you make your way out of the pool, please? But notes of disqualification, I did mention earlier, it is event 205, heat 7, lane 9, disqualification. Next event is event 206, which is the open male 15 and over 100 metre backstroke. It'll be swum in 5 heats, and this is heat 1. Archie Clark in lane 2 is 15. In fact, they're all 15. Lane 3 is Sebastian Riyad, and he's from Tring. Lane 4, Benjamin Mellors, who's from Verulam. Lane 5, Zachary Hazlitt Fossey, who is from Bishop Stortford, and Josh and Edis in lane 6 is from Watford. Zachary has got a small lead, the others are all pretty much in a line. Turns first at 33.94, Benjamin Mellors 34.8, 35.52 for Archie, and then Sebastian and Josh, and all pretty much in a row. Coming up to the final turn, 51 seconds. And it is Zachary, but he's coming under pressure now from Ben alongside him in lane 4. Benjamin's getting right close to him. It's going to be very close. Benjamin Mellors right up on his shoulders, right on the touch between these two. As they touch, 200s between them. The touch goes to Ben Mellors, who from Verulam time of 110.04. Zachary has the Jones 110.06 in second, and third is Archie Clark, 114.64. Can you clear the pool, please? Can you make your way out of the pool, please, swimmers? 200ths of a second between first and second. Very, very close race. And this is heat 2 of the male 15 and over, 100 metres backstroke. Edward Beard is in lane 0, he's 15 from Verulam. Lane 1 is Harry Earl, who's 15 from Ware. Lane 2 is Albert Crotty, who's 15 from Royston. 3, Joseph Summer, who's 15 from Costa. Lane 4, Mikhail Zaranov, who's 16 from Hitchin. Lane 5, Drogmar Kotarabi is 16 from Hemel Hempstead. Lane 6 is Matthew Lynch, who's 16 from Potters Bar. Lane 7, Finn Carey, 16 from Stevenage, and then two 15-year-olds to finish. Lane 8 is Elliot Whitehead from Harpenden. Lane 8 is Hugo Randall, and 9, Hugo Randall from Costa. Michael leading the way at the moment in lane 4. And he's got around about metre and a half lead over Drogomir, is in lane 5. Very, very close behind him for the third place, but as they come through the touch, Michael touches first in a time of 65.41. 67 for Drogomir in 67.07 in lane 5 in second place, and third place 67.69, Albert Crotty in third. We have another notice of disqualification, event 205, heat 8, lane 5, disqualification. Can you clear the pool, please, Summers? Can you make your way out of the side of the pool, please? Heat 3 of the 100 metres backstroke. So in heat 3 we've got Evan Slade in lane 0, 16 from Tring. Lane 1 is Ryan Wimperney, who's 16 from Cheshunt. Lane 2 is Joseph Bagshaw, 16 from Stevenage. 3, Alexander Gregory, 18 from Stevenage. And 4, Oliver Tom, 19 from Bishop Stortford. 5 is Henry Martin, 17 from Harpenden. 6, Frankie Francis, who's 16 from Harpenden. 7, Callum Wu, who's 17 from Verulam. Lane 8 is Alexander Duncan, who's 16 from Verulam. And lane 9, Sebastian Tercelet, who's 15 from Hemel Hempstead. 31.26. At the halfway, is Oliver Tom is leading from 31.29 is Callum. But already into the final length. About 48 seconds. Oliver Tom's entry time 106.91. Let's see what he records. Going to be very close behind him. Goes 103.78. Who's going to get second? How close was that? 65.3. Second place goes to Alexander Duncan. And third place there in the 66.41 for Ryan Wimperney. Can you clear the pool to the side, please? Can you make your way to the side of the pool, please? As the confirmed result, Oliver Tom's winning time there. Heat 4 of the 100 metres backstroke. Lewis Hockenberg in lane 0, 17 from Potters Bar. Lane 1, Charlie Stott, 17 from Costa. Lane 3, 2 is Finley Barber, who's 17 from Potters Bar. 3, William Rogers, who's 16 from Watford. 4, George Saunders, 16 from Costa. Lane 5, Alexander Mortadenti, who's 17 from Potters Bar. Lane 6, Luca Robertosa-Padin, who's 17 from Potters Bar. Lane 7, Alfie Whitman, who's 18 from Hoddesdon. Lane 8 is Alfie Winchester, 18 from Royston. And 9, Oscar Mickon, who's 17 from Verulam. Coming up to the final turn. Very, very close. It looks as though it might be Luca in lane 6 who's fractionally ahead of Alexander in 5, and George in 4, and William in 3. Really close, and also going well is lane 0, Lewis. But touching first, 63.42. Luca takes it, winning time there. In 63.73 second was George Saunders, and third to touch, 64.85 was Alexander Mortadenti. See, that is a confirmed result. Can you clear the pool to the side, please, Summers? Can you make your way out of the pool? And that is a confirmed result. Fifth and final heat of the 100 metres backstroke. So this one we got Thomas Fennick in lane 0 is 15 from Hatfield. No swimmer in 1. Lane 2 is Ben Hunnick, who's 17 from Tring. Lane 3, Kabir Patel, who's 17 from Potters Bar. Lane 4, Oliver Baskerville, who's 18 from Hatfield. 5, Zach Fellows, 17 from Costa. 6, Dylan Davenport, 17 from Bishop Stortford. 7, Parker Brewster, 17 from Harpenden. 8, Benjamin Palmer. Ben is 15 from Bishop Stortford. And Oliver Fennick in lane 9 is 17 from Hatfield. Turning first at halfway, 28.47. Zach Fellows, Kabir Patel in second place there, 28.8. Then Oliver Baskerville, Ben Hunnick, Dylan Davenport, Parker Brewster. 3 swimmers in a row coming up to the final turn as they turn. In the lead, but only just. In lane 3 is Kabir Patel from Oliver Baskerville. And Zach Fellows, I think, in third. And as they touch, Bill takes it in a winning time of 60.44. Second to touch, 61.03 was Oliver Baskerville. And third, 61.46 was Zach Fellows. Remember, there are finals to come. Can you clear the pool, please? Swimmers, can you clear the pool, please? Event 207 will be the next event in the pool, which is the female 10 to 14 years 100 metres butterfly, and it will be swum in 6 heats. And this is heat 1. So just the 4 swimmers in this first heat. We got Elodie Franklin-Smith in lane 3, who they're all 11 years old. She's from Costa. Lane 4 is Irene Mayo, who's from Costa. Lane 5 is Ayla Smith, who's from Verulam, and lane 6 is Tia Preston from Tring. Coming down towards the halfway turn. And It's Ayla in the lead. Entered at 1:46. Turns at 43.14, 44.3 for Irene. And then Lodi is turning in third place there at 46.67 and 47.41 for Tia. So already into the final length. Ada Smith from Irene in lane 4. Ada Verlem swimmer, as I said, entered at 1:46.34. She's going to take this and come through and touches a time of 1:36.8, 1:37.66 for Irene. Odie touching in 1:44.53 and 1:48.4 for Tia. Heat 2 of the 100 metres butterfly. Amelia Sharp in lane 0 is 12 from Costa. Lane 1 is Uma Pitt, who's 12 from Watford. No one in 2. Lane 3 is Sa Wing Lei, who's 12 from Watford. Lane 4, Grace Armitage, 12 from Stevenage. Lane 5, Sophie Walker, who's an 11-year-old from Cheshunt. And lane 6, Skylar Hodges is also 11 from Hatfield. Lane 7 is Olivia Hopley, who's 12 from Hatfield. Lane 8 is Skylar Struck, who's 12 from Rickmansworth. And lane 9 is Imogen Brown, who is an S14 swimmer and 14 from Potters Bar. Turning first is Grace from Sa Wing Lei, and Grace is at 38.21. Sophie is turned in third place there in lane 5. Turning at 61 seconds in the lead. Grace Armitage. Timing line second place, but being pressed hard by Sophie Walker in lane 5. And there are some fast finishes coming up here catching this group as well, but no doubt is taking this. 1:25.04 win for Grace Armitage. And she had an entry time of 1:33, so great time for her. Second to touch there was Sophie Walker, hanging in there at 1:31.13. And third was Olivia Hopley, touching at 1:31.25. This is heat 3 of the 100 metres butterfly. So in this one we've got Catherine Heatherley in lane 0, who's 12 from Hatfield. Lane 1 is Bronwyn Hill, who's 12 from Costa. 2 is Yut Yao, who's 12 from Hatfield. 3, Jemima Mansfield, who's 12 from Hemel. Lane 4 is Ira Doe, who's 13 from Watford. Lane 5 is Hayley Frew Costa, who's 13 from Potters Bar. 6, Emma Todd, who's 12 from Potters Bar. 7, Annabelle Carey, who's 12 from Stevenage. Her teammate Elizabeth Birching in lane 8 is 11. Another 11-year-old Bethany Chapman is in lane 9 from Bishop Stortford. Coming up to the final turn. Turning first, Catherine Heatherley over in lane 0, having a great swim from Hatfield. Entered at 1:33, going to go way inside that. In second place at the moment is Hayley Frew Costa, entered at 1:25. But let's look at Catherine's time. So entered at 1:33.11, going to be a fabulous PB. Comes through and touches in 1:19.9. Hayley touching in second in 1:23.31. That's a couple of seconds inside her entry time. And third there, 1:26.9 for Jemima Mansfield. So we can see there was a disqualification in that previous heat, which I will read out later on when I get it. This is heat 4 of the 100 metres butterfly. And we have Elsie Preston in lane 0, 13 from Tring. Lane 2, 1 is Emily Lynch, 13 from Potters Bar. 2, Maya Valencia, who's 12 from Hoddesdon. 3 is Amelie Desimou, who's 13 from Verulam. Lane 4 is Gracie Treadway, who's 13 from Cheshunt. Lane 5 is Isabel Bradley Smith, 14 from Hoddesdon. Lane 6 is Olivia Edwards, who's 14 from Rickmansworth. 7, Naomi Mangwani, who's 12 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 8, Scarlett Yee, who's also 12 from Costa, and then Evie Lowers in lane 9 is 13 from Bishop Stortford. Olivia Edwards is leading the way at the moment in lane 6, having a good swim, and she's around about a body length clear at the moment of Gracie Treadway in lane 4. But also now coming through very well in lane 1. Emily Lynch from Potters Bar having a good swim, and it's Emily Lynch who's finishing very fast, and Maya Valencia alongside her as well having a good swim. Into the last couple of strokes, just touching first there, 1:18.45 is Olivia Edwards. Second to touch was Emily Lynch at 1:19.43, and third on the board there was showing us Charlotte Yee, 1:19.76. Heat 5 of the 100 metres butterfly. Scarlet Diamond in lane 0 is 13 from Cheshunt. Lane 1 is Georgie Basavi, who's 13 from Hatfield. Lane 2 is Angela Pavana, who's 14 from Potters Bar. Lane 3 is Isabella Pledger, who's 14 from Hoddesdon. 4 is Daniela Gomez Bolivar, who's 14 from Hoddesdon. Lane 5, Ashley Worth, who's 12 from Cheshunt. Lane 6, Sakari Yamada Orr, who's 13 from Costa. Lane 7, Elise Dochin, who's 14 from Costa. Lane 8 is Layla Harley, who's 12 from Watford. And then a 14-year-old, Hemel Hempstead's Isla Austin, is in lane 9. Storming away at the moment is Isabella Pledger in lane 3. Quite a way clear at the moment of Georgie in lane 1, who's in second place at the moment. Isabella comes up to turn at 53 seconds, and then Georgie, and then it's very, very close behind her at the moment. We've got 3 swimmers all in it. Going very well is Isla Austin in lane 9, out of my sight at the turn there, but coming into the last few strokes, Isabella Pledger into the 119.9, records 114.4, great swim by her. 116.35 second to touch was Georgie, and third to touch there was Isla Austin in lane 9, 117.04. And that is a confirmed result. Isabella Pledger's winning time there, 114.40. Sixth and final heat of the 100 metres butterfly. Martha Mellows in lane 0 is 13 from Verulam. Lane 1 is Tilly Howes, who's 13 from Verulam. Lane 2 is Charlotte Douglas, 14 from Costa, and 3 is Neve Ives, who's 14 from Hatfield. 4, Summer Miller, who's 14 from Bishop Stortford. 5, Olivia Daniel, who's 13 from Verulam. And then 6 is Charlotte Stewart, 14 from Costa. 7, Kissy McNaughton, 14 from Hoddesdon. Lane 8 is Mariella Thorne, 13 from Ware, and 9 is Addison Summers, 14 from Costa. First to turn is Summer Miller, 32.4. Charlotte Douglas in second there at the halfway point, and at halfway third the place was Olivia Daniel. It is still close at the front, but in the lead it's Summer Miller coming up to final turn, but now going a bit faster for 53 seconds there, and being overtaken now by Olivia Daniel. Olivia Daniel and Summer Miller having a great battle. Summer in 4, Olivia in 5. It's very close indeed into the last few strokes. It looks like it's going to go to Summer. Summer touching first, 69.97. Olivia Daniel in the 71.16. And third to touch there in 112.9 was Neve Ives. So that completes event 207, which will have a final coming up. And we move on to event 208, which is the female 15 and over 100 metres butterfly, which is going to be swum in 4 heats. And this is heat 1. Jasmine Hunt in lane 0 is 15 from Stevenage. Lane 1 is Rachel Ord, 15 from Watford. 2, Amy Thompson, 16 from Hemel. Lane 3, Grace Cracknell, who's 16 from Watford. Lane 4, Emily Fitzgerald, 17 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 5 is Zara Rint, who's 17 from Hertford. Lane 6, B Grant, 18 from Royston. Lane 7, Eliana Colborne, who's 15 from Rickmansworth. Rose McCann in lane 8 is 15 from Burlham, and Olivia Croft in lane 9 is 15 from Cheshunt. Leading coming up to the final turn is Zara Rint. Zara turning at about 53 seconds. B Grant it is who's going after her alongside her with the green hat. And then on the other side, we've got Emily Fitzgerald. And also going well is Amy Thompson over in lane 2. But coming into the last few strokes, touching first, 113.32. Win goes to Zara Arendt. Second to touch there, 115.72 was B. Grant. And third in a time of 116.35, Amy Thompson. And that is a confirmed result. Zara's winning time, 113.32. Heat 2 of the 100 metres butterfly. So in this heat we've got Ava Taroni O'Hara in lane 0, 17 from Potters Bar. Lane 1 is Evie Butterworth, who's 16 from Watford. 2, Jasmine Pereira, who's 18 from Potters Bar. And 3 is Cassandra Pereira, who's 16 from Watford. Lane 4 is Tara Shah, who's 16 from Hatfield. Lane 5 is Autumn Shine, 19 from Potters Bar. Lane 6, Patrick Wrong, who's 18 from Cheshunt. Lane 7 is Megan Randall, who is 15 from Royston. Lane 8, Neve Holland, 15 from Hitchin. And lane 9 is Lauren King, 18 from Royston. As they hit the final turn, leading the way is Megan Randall. And it's very close between Megan and now coming through strongly Autumn Shine in lane 4. But between these two, into the last few strokes. And it's going to go to Megan in a time of 111.21. Second to touch there is Autumn Shine, 113.26. Sorry, it's coming up there at Tara Shah, but it was Autumn Shine. We'll pick up the times on the backups. There's the confirmed result. Heat 3 of the 100 metres butterfly. Tia Robertson in lane 0, 16 from Costa. Lane 1 is Anna Zabitskaya, who's 15 from Costa. Lane 1 is Darcy Waller, who's 16 from Stevenage. Lane 3, Isabel Savage, who's 17 from Potters Bar. 4, Amy Boreham, who's 20 from Watford. Lane 5 is Honor Beverstock, who's 17 from Hatfield. 6, Valencia Tintorello, who's 16 from Potters Bar. Antonia Elias is in lane 7, is 17 from Watford. Lane 8 is Lois Fields, who's 15 from Bishopsthorpe. And lane 9 is Holly Malafoy, who's 17 from Costa. Honor Beverstock leading the way here. Comfortable in the lead. Close behind, looks like it's in second place at the moment. It's Isla Savage in lane 3. Honor Beverstock entered at 68. Will be comfortable here. And touching in 66.38. Very close behind her. Second to touch there was Amy Boreham, 110.06. And third, Isabel Savage in 110.28. And that is confirmed. Honour's winning time there on the board. Final heat of the 100 metres butterfly, heat 4. Georgina Hamilton in lane 0 is 18 from Costa. Lane 1 is Eddie Foster, who's 15 from Bishop Stortford. Lane 2, Tia Gregory, 18 from Stevenage. 3, Alice Weston, 20 from Watford. 4, Summer Iverson, who's 17 from Watford. 5, Ashley Ransom, 30 from Hatfield, a senior swimmer. Then Jasmine Scott is 60 in lane 6, is 15 from Costa. Ever Ives in lane 7 is 17 from Hatfield. Lane 8 is Erin Curry, who's 18 from Hatfield. And lane 9 is Caitlin Hartley, who's 22 from Hatfield. Alice Weston leading the way at the moment in lane 3 from Summer Iverson in lane 4. And also Jasmine in lane 7 is Ever Ives. But the coming down into the final few strokes, again they all know they've got a finals to come. And touching first 104.56 is Alice Weston. Second to touch in 105.71 is Summer Iverson, and then third Alice Weston at 104.56. So we're going to have a short break while we get ourselves ready for the finals, and then we will be having the finals of the 100-metre events, the backstrokes and the butterflies coming up. 39 first. So welcome everyone to this first set of finals, and we're going to be kicking this off with the final of event 211, the Mal Open 10-11 years 100 metre backstroke. Please welcome your finalists as they come to the block, led on in lane 9 by Dima Zapotecki. In lane 0, Abraham Cohen-Ray. In lane 8, James Tattersall. In lane 1, Oscar Witt. In lane 7, Dangis Razma. In 2 tonight, Benjamin Green. In lane 6, Jonas Chohang Ting. In 3, Jack Dalton. In lane 5, Theo Ronzi. And finally in lane 4, Stefan Sorginelli. Your finalists for the 10-11 years 100 metres backstroke. So underway with our first final, and this is 4 lengths of backstroke. Leading the way at the moment, we've got lane 3 and lane 4, Jack Dalton in 3, Stefan in lane 4, but also coming through lane 5, Theo's looking pretty good too. Approaching the halfway turn. Stefan turning at 39.09, 39.32 for Theo, Jack Dalton 39 and also 39 for Jonas. Nothing between these 4. Who's going to get the medals? They are in 3 medals and 4 racing for them. Coming up to the final turn. And looks like we've got a little group of 3 who have broken away. Very close on the turn at 59 seconds in the lead with just a length to go. In lane 5 is Theo from Stefan in 4. Jack in 3, these are where the medals are going to go, but who's going to get gold and who's going to get silver? It's between Theo and Stefan, Theo in 5 and Stefan in 4, coming into touch as they touch. First touch, it's Stefan Sorginelli takes it at a time of 1:20.16 and gold medalist. Second and silver medalist, subject to confirmation, Theo Ronzi in time of 1:20.64, and third and bronze medalist, Jack Dalton in a time of 1:22.11. So well done, swimmers. Can you make your way out of the side of the pool, please? So a very exciting final to start our group of finals today. Just waiting for the confirmation of the result. So just waiting for a formal official confirmation. The results on the board is a provisional one at the moment. And there we have it, a disqualification of the Theo Rawlinson. And that means it's Stefan taking the gold medal, Jack Dalton the silver. Event 212 is the open male 12 years, 100 metres backstroke. Please welcome your finalists to the blocks, led on in lane 9 by Thomas Evans. In lane Z0, Albert Saunders. In lane 8, Jeremy Cox. In lane 1, Callum Lucas. In 7, Sebastian Rama. In lane 2, John Holman Daly. In lane 6, Daniel Cara. Lane 3, King Pao Binning. In 5, Julian Vanier. And in lane 4, Charles Pritchard. Ladies and gentlemen, your finalist for the Malin Open 12 years, 100 metres backstroke. So a very exciting first final. And now going to the front, very early lead, Charles Pritchard. This is going to be a close one. We've got Charles Pritchard in lane 4 at the moment, ahead of King Pao Binning in lane 3 and Julian Vanier in lane 5. It's a spearheaded event, so you'd expect the middle lanes to be the fastest of the qualifiers, so they should be the fastest in the pool. But at halfway, 35.52, 36.2 is Charles from Julian and then King Pao. They're where the medals are at the moment. And Julian trying to get on terms with Charles as they come through to the final turn, turning at 54 seconds. Into the final length, it's Charles Pritchard in lane 4, Julian in lane 5, and they're very close together. Julian's getting really close on his shoulder. Charles still in the lead. Can Charles hang on to this? Julian and Charles by themselves. Who's going to get first and second? And it goes to Charles Pritchard, time 1:13.04. Silver medal subject to confirmation to Julian Vanier, 1:13.42. And third place, a bronze medal to Kim Pao Binning, a time of 1:17.16. Subject to the formal result. We'll wait and see if that is confirmed. And there we have confirmation. Charles Pritchard, winning time 1:13.04, gold medalist. Julian Vanier, silver medalist, 1:13.42, and King Pao in bronze. Event 213 is the open male 13 years, 100 metres backstroke. Please will you welcome your finalists as they make their way to the blocks, led on today by lane 9, Harrison Dodwell. And in lane 0, Leo Sims. Lane 8, Cody Bridgen. Lane 1, Dewey Fordyce. Lane 7, Luca Capozzi. Lane 2, Jake Nell. In lane 6, Samuel Childs. In lane 3, Toby Benson. In lane 5, Lewis Hallam. And in lane 4, Taras Boykiu. Your finalists for the Malin Open 13 years, 100 metres backstroke. Last disqualifier here, Charles Pritchard from Stevenage. So it was Taras Boyko from Bishop's Stortford, 110. See if he can go under 110, that would be really good. Taras in the lead at the moment, very close for second and third and fourth. We'll see where they are on the turn. Taras 21st, 33.23. Jake Nell in second, silver medal position at the moment. Luca Capozzi in bronze, and then Samuel Childs. But they're all about the 34s, and then 35, Toby Benson. Final turn at 50 seconds. In the lead, in lane 4, Taras Boyko, he's entered at 110. Let's see where he can get to. Silver medal at the moment, looks like it's going to Jake Nell, but Taras touches first, 108.35. So the winning time there, first to touch, Taras Boyko, 108.35, gold medalist. Silver medalist at the time of 110.81 is Samuel Childs, and bronze medalist at the time of 111.08, Jake Nell. We'll see if that is a confirmed result. Confirmation, Taras Boyko is the 13-year-old backstroke champion, winning time of 68.35. Event 214 is the next event, which is the Open Male 14 years, 100 metre backstroke. Your finalists led on in lane 9 by Max Perry. In lane 0, Todd Long. In lane 8, Samuel Allcroft. In lane 1, Fox Foster. In lane 7, Noah Conroy. In lane 2, Oscar Chow. In lane 6, Hugo Harley. In lane 3, Aaron Rolsey. In lane 5, Charles Hodgson. And finally in lane 4, Rafe Lawson. Ladies and gentlemen, your finalist for the Open and Male 14 years, 100 metres backstroke. So the fastest qualification time here from the heats was 65.65. We can see that be broken today by Rafe Lawson in lane 4. '66 or '67 or '68 really the next times behind his on qualification. Coming up to his halfway turn in the lead. Rafe turns at 30.97, 32.44. Silver medalist position for Charles Hodgson. Bronze medal position for Oscar at the moment at the halfway turn, but it's very, very close to that bronze medal position between Aaron and Oscar. And also in lane 6 is up there, Hugo Harley has got a shout for it as well. But at the moment, in the lead, no doubt who's going to take this. Rafe Lawson, Berkhamsted swimmer. Qualified at 65 seconds. Let's see his winning time. Touches first time, 64.08. Second place and silver medal, Charles Hodgson, 66.77. And third place and bronze medal, subject to confirmation, 67.46, goes to Aaron Rawlinson. So we'll wait to see if that is a confirmed result. That'll flash through on the board. And that is confirmed. Rafe's winning time and championship first place is 64.08. Event 215 is the male open 15 years, 100 metres backstroke. Please welcome your finalists to the blocks, led on by, in lane 9, Harry Earl. In lane 0, Edward Beard. In lane 8, Zachary Haslett-Fossey. In lane 1, Benjamin Mellors. In lane 7, Elliot Whitehead. In lane 2, Joseph Suba. In lane 6, Albert Crotty. In lane 3, Benjamin Palmer. In lane 5, Sebastian Tercelet. And finally in lane 4, Thomas Fennick. Your finalists for the open male 15 years, 100 metres backstroke. Thank you. So once again, the fastest qualification time is 65 seconds by Thomas. As always in lane 4, the fastest qualifier. But going out very well ahead of him at the moment, Ben Palmer in lane 3. And never know what happens in the qualifications. Swimmers taking it easy. And coming up now to the halfway turn, it is Benjamin Palmer, Bishop Stortford swimmer, turning first at 30.07, 30.89 for Thomas Fennick. Sebastian Tercelet in bronze medal position halfway, 32 seconds. Joseph Sibbin behind him, and then Albert right behind those. Coming up to the final turn. And already we can see Ben Palmer quite a long way clear now. Tactical swim in the heats, coming through towards the final few strokes. He's going to take the gold medal, and in a winning time of 62.34. Second place and silver medal goes to Thomas Fennick in a time of 64.48. Third place and provisional bronze medal, time of 65.78 goes to Sebastian Tercelet. So subject to confirmation, that is the result. We have a notice of disqualification from an earlier heat, which you will have seen. In the final, event 213, lane 2 was disqualified. The next final we have is event 216, the Male Open, 16 years and over, 100 metres backstroke final. Please welcome your finalists to the blocks, led on in lane 9 by Alexander Mordenti. In lane 0, Oliver Tom. Swimming in lane 8, Parker Brewster. And in lane 1, George Saunders. Lane 7 is Luca Bertosapadin. Lane 2, Dylan Davenport. Lane 6, Ben Hunwick. Lane 3, Zach Fellows. Lane 5, Oscar Baskerville. And finally in lane 4, Kabir Patel. Your finalists for the Male Open, 16 years over, 100 metres backstroke. Coming off the first turn, it's Oliver Baskerville from Zach Fellows and Kabir Patel. Oliver turning first at 28.08, then Zach Fellows in silver medal halfway, 28.46. Kabir Patel holding on the bronze medal position at the moment. These three just a little bit clear at the moment of Dylan Davenport, but already into the final length. In the lead, but only by about half a body length. In lane 5, Oliver Baskerville from Zach Fellows over in lane 3. Oliver's going to take this as he comes through. Oliver takes it, gold medal position, winning time of 58 seconds flat. Second place and silver medal goes to Zach Fellows at a time of 58.87. And third place and bronze medalist Kabir Patel at a time of 60.38. So we'll see if that is a confirmed result.
Let's go, Ben.
And it is confirmation of the championship winner, Oscar Baskerville, a winning time of 58 seconds flat. Our next final is event 217, the female 10 and 11 years, 100 metres butterfly. Please welcome your finalists to the blocks, led on in lane 8 by Tia Preston. In lane 1, LD Franklin Smith. In lane 7, Irene Mill. In lane 2, Isla Smith. In lane 6, Skylar Hodges. In lane 3, Bethany Chapman. In lane 5, Sophie Walker. And in lane 4, Elizabeth Burchick. Your finalists for the 10, 11 years, 100 metres butterfly. So in the youngest age group, the fastest qualifier here, Elizabeth, was at 1:28.06. It's pretty close. The Sophie Walker went 1:30, 1:31 for Bethany Chapman. They're in the middle lanes, and they are the three who you can see are already just a little bit clear of the others, racing for the medals here. Coming up to halfway, looks like that's where the medals are going to go between those three. As they come up to halfway turn, it's really close. Bethany Chapman it is who's in the gold medal position halfway from Elizabeth Birchick and Sophie Walker, 39.25 at the halfway distance, but coming off the wall, already accelerating into this second 50. Elizabeth Birchick in lane 4 now with half a metre lead over Bethany Chapman. Sophie Walker still holding on to the bronze medal position, but it's in the lead now. Elizabeth Birchick is accelerating away. She's had a great second 50 here. I can't stay with her. She's into the last 6 metres. It's Elizabeth from Bethany. And as they come through, it's going to be Elizabeth Birchick takes it. A provisional gold medal position in a time of 1:24.56. Second place and silver medalist is Bethany Chapman in a time of 1:25.22, and third place and bronze medalist Sophie Walker in a time of 1:28.46 as the last couple of swimmers come in to complete the final. So we'll wait to see if that is confirmed as a result. So we'll get confirmation of that, but hopefully that will stand. We move on to event 218, the final of the female 12 years 100 metres butterfly. Your finalists, led on today in lane 9 by Annabella Kerry. In lane 0, Emma Todd. In lane 8, Jemima Mansfield. In lane 1, Grace Armitage. In lane 7, Naomi Mogwani. In lane 2, Layla Harley. In lane 6, Maya Valencia. In lane 3, Catherine Hatherley. In lane 5, Scarlett Yee. And in lane 4, Ashley Worth. Your finalists for the female 12 years 100 metres butterfly. So already a very much closer race than we've seen, and we haven't even done one length. Lots of swimmers in this for the medals. Times were very close on qualification, so these medals could go anywhere. Coming up now towards the halfway turn. Ashley Worth from Cheshunt just in the lead. She was the fastest qualifier and splits at 35.41. Charlotte Yee 36.6, 36.65. There's 300 separating first and second and fourth. 300s at halfway. Coming up to the final turn. Ashley Worth is away in the lead. Ashley's going to turn at 55 seconds. But there are now 5 swimmers all in the hunt for silver and bronze. Into the last 15 metres. Ashley Worth in the lead. Trying to make a push for it at the moment is Layla Hartley in lane 2. It's going to be very, very close though. Ashley takes it, it's winning time of 1:15.74. Second place there goes to Layla Hartley in 1:18. 18.03, and third place, well, really close, Maya Valencia won 18.49, 1/100th of a second before ahead of Scarlett Yee. So fabulous race. Well done, swimmers. And we're waiting to see if we got confirmed winning time. Confirmed winning time, gold medalist Ashley Worth in a winning time of 1:15.74. Layla in second, and bronze medal to Maya. Event 219 is the final for the female 13 years, 100 meters butterfly. Please welcome your finalists. Led on in lane 9 by Amelie Desimov. In lane 0, we have Gracie Treadway. In lane 8, Emily Lynch. In lane 1, Sakura Yamada-Orr. In lane 7, Scarlett Omand. In lane 2, Mariella Thorne. In lane 6, Georgie Basavi. In lane 3, Martha Mellors. In lane 5, Tilly Howells. And in lane 4, Olivia Daniel. Your finalists for the female 13 years, 100 meters butterfly. So, early lead here by the fastest entrant. Olivia Daniels, qualified for the final 111, goes 32.23. And then silver medal at the halfway point, Tilly Howells, then Mariella Thorne, Martha Mellors, Georgie Basavi. They're all in it, they're all in the 34s, chasing for the bronze medal position, I think. But in the lead, coming up to the final turn, turning at 50 seconds. It's Olivia Daniel, being chased by Tilly Howells, the two Verulam swimmers well clear, very close behind them. Martha Mellors could make it a clean sweep on the medals for Verulam if she can take bronze, but touching first in a time of 68.81, gold medalist Olivia Daniels. Second place and silver medalist in a time of 1:11.63 is Tilly Howells, and third place and bronze medalist making a clean sweep for Verulam in a time of 1:14.47, Martha Mellors. So we'll see if that's confirmed, and if it is a clean sweep on the medals for Verulam, it will be a tremendous result for the club. And we have it there, confirmed winning time of 1:08.81 and gold medal for Olivia Daniels. Event 220 is the female 14 years, 100 meters butterfly final. Your finalists led on in lane 9 by Daniela Gomez Bolivar. In lane 0, Olivia Edwards. In lane 8, Isla Austin. In lane 1, Charlotte Stewart. In lane 7, Addison Summers. Lane 2, Isabella Pledger. In lane 6, Kitty McNaughton. In lane 3, Charlotte Douglas. Lane 5, Neve Ives. And in lane 4, Summer Miller. Your finalists for the female 14 years, 100 meters butterfly. The fastest qualification time, Summer Miller 69.9, the only one under 110. The next fastest was just under 113. So there's no doubt that on the form paper here, Summer should be in the lead. But look at this, between 3 and 4. Charlotte Douglas from Costa going with her at the moment. These two very close indeed. Charlotte Douglas, in fact, in the lead. 31.24 halfway, 31.33 Summer in silver place. Kitty McNaughton holding bronze at the moment in lane 6, but coming up to the final turn. And now, turning first in about 48 seconds. It is the fastest qualifier, Summer Miller, who is going away now from Charlotte Douglas. Kitty McNaughton still just holding on to bronze, but into the last few strokes, touching at a time of 1:06.1, a winning time for Summer Miller. Second place and silver medal in a time of 1:08.83 is Charlotte Douglas, and third in a winning time of 1:11.50. A bronze medal goes to Neve Ives. So we'll wait to see if that is confirmed, and if Summer Miller's winning time of 1:06 is confirmed as the gold medal winning time. And there it is, confirmed gold medal for Summer Miller, and then silver medal for Charlotte Douglas, and bronze for Neve Ives. Well done. Event 221 is the female 15 years, 100 metres butterfly final. Please welcome your finalists to the blocks, led on in lane 9 by Jasmine Hunt. In lane 0, Rachel Ord. In lane 8, Eliana Coburn. In lane 1, Rose McCann. In lane 7, Neve Holland. In 2, Anna Zapatskaya. In lane 6, Lois Fields. In lane 3, Megan Randall. In lane 5, Edie Foster. And in lane 4, Jasmine Scott. Your finalists for the female 15 years, 100 metres butterfly. So the early lead here with Edie Foster, Bishop Stork, went into 69. Qualification time. Jasmine Scott with faster qualification time alongside her in lane 4. But it is Edie Foster first to turn at 30.08, 30.65 Jasmine Scott. Bronze medal at the halfway point for Megan Randall ahead of Anna Zajaskaya and Rachel Ord. Close for the bronze medal position, but no doubt we've got the leading two. They're going to be battling this out, very close indeed. Edie in 5, Jasmine in 4, only 10 metres to go, and they're absolutely together. Into the last 5 metres, still together. Who's going to get the touch as they come through? A few hundreds in it, first to touch and gold medal position to Jasmine Scott in a time of 64.81. Second and silver medal position in time of 64.94 goes to Edie Foster, and third and bronze medal position with time of 69.50 to Megan Randall. So 64.81. The winning time there for Jasmine Scott confirmed as the official result. We move on to the last of our finals in this session, event 222, the final of the female 16 years and over 100 metres butterfly. Please welcome your finalists to the blocks, led on in lane 9 by Darcy Waller. In lane 0 is Amy Borum. In lane 8, Tia Gregory. In lane 1, Caitlin Hartley. In lane 7, Ashley Ransom. In lane 2, Georgina Hamilton. In lane 6, Eva Ives. In lane 3, Honor Beverstock. In lane 5, Summer Everson. And in lane 4, Alice Weston. Your finalists for the female 16 years and over 100 metres butterfly. So looking fairly close at the moment. Now just starting to edge away off of that first turn is Summer Everson from Alice Weston, and Ashley Ransom going well too in lane 7. Summer Everson turned at 29.83, going to Alice Weston. Ashley Ransom in bronze medal position at the moment, ahead of Honor Beverstock and Eva Ives. And that's still where we're sitting at the moment, but bronze medal coming under a lot more pressure now into the final length. Gold and silver is going to be battled out between Summer Everson in 5, Alice Weston in 4. Ashley Ransom looks like she's going to get bronze. Coming into the last couple of strokes, who's on the right stroke? Touching first at a time of 63.62, gold medal position for Alice Weston. Second place, silver medal position time is 64.02 for Summer Everson, and third place and bronze medalist at a time of 65.21, Ashley Ransom. So please clear the pool, swimmers, if you can make your way out of the pool, please. As that completes this session, official result confirmed there, Alice Weston as the gold medalist and champion of the 16 years and over, 100 metres butterfly this year. So the next warm-up will be at 1:15 in just over half an hour, at 13:15. Be the next warm-up for the next session. We hope you've had a great session. Please remember your medals and things this session. Thank you for everyone who has helped in this session. If you're not going to be around for the rest of the day, on behalf of all of the swimmers and Hertfordshire Swim England, thank you very, very much for everyone who's helped out in this session. The next one will be underway in just under half an hour, and in the meantime, we'll leave you with some music.